Of course, here I am forgetting to turn on my little ring light so you guys can properly see me. Here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to a wonderful episode and wonderful continuation of the worst sports podcast out there. This Raven Slayers Hour. Everybody can see a little bit of a rebrand on the channel, but not too bad about that. So like it says in the title, we're breaking down the games from Sunday, Friday, and Thursday, and talking a little bit about predictions for the game today, as well talking about some trading cards as well. So without further ado, I'm going to jump in and spend some time with my co-host. How's it going, Pops?
Morning.
Good morning indeed. How's your day going? All right. So kind of broken down to everybody what we're talking about here today. We got some talks about some trading cards, and as well talks about the games from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whole 9 yards, or you know what I mean. And unfortunately, none of my notes.
Can't hear you.
You can't
Might
hear
be
me?
on my end. Give me a minute.
Okay. Why is that?
How about now?
Is that better?
No.
I'm here. I hear you.
Let me go back out and come back in.
All right. Sorry about the technical difficulties, everybody. Tends to happen every show. While he's away, I might as well start talking about kind of some of the. Oh, there he is. You there? Are you hearing me?
All right, can you hear me now?
I hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me, sir?
I still can't hear you. Give me a second.
Check on your settings on your
How about now?
I hear you loud and clear. Do you have your computer audio muted?
One moment.
The wonders of having to help an old guy with his technology.
Try again.
Are you there?
Now try.
Hello?
Having issues with my speakers. Give me a moment. All right, try now.
Hello? Good.
Hello,
Bad.
hello.
You there?
Throw things. I'm gonna throw things.
Oh, the joy.
You hear me, but I can't hear you. That's my problem.
Yeah. So while he's working on that, I might as well go in, at least go into talk. The talks as far as this trading card you were talking about.
Why I
here.
can't hear you.
He's having fun with his technical difficulties, obviously. So might as well talk about some of the trading cards. I was kind of looking.
Right now?
You there? Hello? Pops?
Right now?
Pops? You there?
No. Now?
Hello? This is always fun.
Probably going to have to restart my computer. Give me a minute. I'll restart and I'll be back on. Okay?
No problem. Well, that is a wonderful freeze frame right there, if I say so myself. So while we're waiting on the old man, I did a little bit of research on my end as far as kind of some of the more fun. That's fine. Anyway, as he's sitting there working on his audio issues that he's working and going through right now, at least want to go through and talk about some of the trading cards I found. I wound up finding while researching the topic when it comes to the trading card errors. So we're part of what we found here. We're doing a segment on the show where we talk about some of the infamous error cards and some of the more outlandish ones. So we each chose 5 different error cards that we found that we have been able to find through our research. I've found a couple of baseball, couple of football, one football, and then there was a Star Wars card that I found that was very comical to find through my research here. So if you give me a brief moment, start you guys out here with a card from the 1990 Pacific Senior Leagues set. Card number 126 with
Right.
Jim Nettles. Can you hear me now? So with Jim,
try again.
You there? Checking.
Just having to flip between all my different speakers. Right now?
Yoo-hoo.
Nothing.
Nada. Nothing. Zilch. Hey-ya. I love audio issues, don't you, everybody? Love dealing with them. So anyway, going back to what I was talking about, 1990 Pacific Senior League trading cards. Card number 126 in Jim Nettles. Fairly similar error card to the Billy Ripken card. However, on Jim Nettles' bat knob, I'm not sure if you can tell
why are my
in the
speakers
quality at
not
all, because I'm
working?
pretty sure the quality's horrible going from phone to camera. On the knob of the bat there on Jim Nettles.
Right now?
You there? So as y'all can see,
Right now?
as y'all can see on the bat knob of Jim Nettles, it says asshole. So I found that hilarious as far as the baseball error cards. That's always been hilarious to me.
I'm literally trying every set of speakers there is. Hold on. I'm gonna unplug and replug.
That brings me into the set of the set of cards that I absolutely fell in love with. Couple of years before I was born, in the year 1997, Star Wars came out with a set of cards through the Topps company. Now there is a card. It is card number, I want to say 77. Hold on, let me scroll through. Let me just double check.
Hold on, I'm going to call you really quick before we get deep into the show, okay?
Alrighty.
Gotta be something in my settings.
Doobie-doobie-doo.
This is sound.
There we go. Card number 207. So, card number 207 happens to be C-3PO. You there? Can you hear me? Old man, can you hear me? So card number.
Give me a second. I want to see if anything will play sound.
Sent it to my friends because it was a funny frickin' card that I found. There he is. Says a Star Wars card number 207. One of my favorite error cards that came out.
Found it.
You there?
Okay, now try.
Are you there? So that didn't come out
Got to
clear.
be something in here in the settings in here because I'm
It's a
not
little bit
hearing you. Let
clearer
me see
there,
if
as
I
you
have
guys
you
can
muted by
clearly
chance.
clearly see there was an appendage there on the
Nope,
C3PO card in
don't have you
1996
muted.
97. You have me muted?
So I have sound coming out of
Go to your
speakers, but when you're talking, I'm not hearing you.
go to the output.
Is it possible that you're here? Hold on, I'm calling you.
Okay, so go to your output devices. So there's a little
In Discord?
yes in Discord that little microphone where it says mute.
Okay, give me 1 second.
There's an arrow right next to it that pops up, and go to output devices.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, the little microphone that says mute. For you or for me?
So it'll say output devices.
I have a settings. I don't have an arrow. Let's see.
No, so in the live on air, there'll be one that says mute and a little arrow right next to it.
Live on air.
At the very bottom of the screen, it'll have the mute and then a little arrow next to it.
I don't have a little arrow next to mute.
Huh. Then go into user settings,
Okay.
and then where it'll put you right immediately under voice and video,
Mm-hmm.
and it right next to where it says output device. Want to make sure that's the
Output
mute.
device. Yeah, it matches. Oh, let me double check. Let me match it to what this one says.
That might be what it is.
Now try talking.
Hello, hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello, hello, hello. There we go. We're
There we
good to
go.
go. There we go. All right, cool.
Well, that'll be the only
That'll be the
downside, though,
only
'cause I'll be able to hear myself twice. But it is what it is. Let me just double check. Hello.
I don't hear an echo now because I took you off
Okay,
the.
good. Wonderful. That's probably what it was.
Hey.
Woohoo! Audio issues resolved.
Yep.
So I was getting
All
into
right.
the error cards first and foremost while you were dealing with those
Oh boy, oh boy,
audio
oh boy.
issues. So
I'm
I
so excited.
initially talked about the 1990 Pacific Senior League trading cards. Card number
Right?
or whatever card number it was with Nettles with the asshole on the bat knob,
Big
and then the
Nettles.
1977 Star Wars card number 207, the C3PO.
Okay.
The one that here, let me send it. Let me text it to you. It's a really funny looking
I
card.
put it in, or I put, or I was in the middle of. Let me go back into general chat. Give me 1 second. Oh, no, I don't want to switch channels. Let's see if I can upload an image.
I think probably what's best to do in that case is go to the image itself and copy and paste, because I didn't save any of mine. So
Fortunately, I did. Do.
all right, well in that case I'll hop over to general here. Hopefully it'll show that
All
on
right.
stream.
So, if you wanna upload yours, you can.
Okay, good.
Um, real quick while you're doing that, let me just say that when it comes to sports card collecting, sports cards for some people can be very boring, and I think I personally think that all of the card companies out there were looking for ways to increase revenue and increase sales and create something that everybody had to have. And that's where a lot of these error cards were born from. Not counting just general laziness in terms of checking the product before it went out the door. If you guys want to check it out in our general text channel, I did post a picture of one of my all-time favorites. The picture of a Fred Marion card. This is from the 1990 Pro Set, and unfortunately, I don't own this one. I wish I did because it's commanding a very hefty price tag right now. In fact, I do like to I like to give this out there when we do this. So it looks innocent enough. And again, this is more a case of people not doing the homework, not taking a look at a photo before it goes to print. The 49ers player diving in the background has a belt that's hanging down. And unfortunately, that belt is hanging down in a very inopportune position and in a very inopportune way. It looks like something else. And so when these kind of things happen, it used to be that's just the way the card lived on. Back in the 80s, especially, they started trying to correct things, and we'll talk about why in just a minute. Um, they airbrushed the belt loop out and then ran it back to print. Now, when this happens, it creates a very short print of a card that is very, very rare, very hard to get a hold of because it was released to the general public. And in this case, the ProSet Fred Marion error card with the belt, if you happen to be holding on to one of these said cards and got it graded and it graded as a perfect card, it is a $2,100 card. So this is kind of why a lot of these things happen, why a lot of these cards end up out there, and why they become so chased is because they are so exclusive and rare. Other times, and I'm not going to show you the good one. I'll show you one of my favorites. Daryl knows this card. Raven, tell him who that is.
That is Billy Ripken.
Now, again, innocent looking card. At the base of the bat, on the handle, you will see a big black box. Well, that didn't originally have a big black box. That had a very special message. Now, one story on this card. Billy Ripken, for years, said that it must have been somebody in production that allowed the words F face to appear on the base of the bat. Later, he has finally admitted to being the culprit, admitted that one of his teammates put him up to the stunt, and for his photo that was going onto the card, he took the picture. Now, it got missed. Unfortunately, several got released into rotation, and this was really the start of having to correct these error cards. Because there was such outrage, absolute genuine outrage over the fact that this happened, that the company had to go back and had to correct it. The black box that I showed you, that was their correction. That's how they went back and got it corrected. The actual error card now sells for about $800 if it's graded in as a 10 in pristine condition. So again, a lot of these cards very, very rare, not something that we get to see often, but those are two of my favorites. What do you got, Raven?
I actually kind of showed them off already. The 1990 Pacific, the Senior League's trading card, fairly similar to the fuckface baseball knob.
Howdy, Mel.
Oh, sorry. Uh, 1990 Pacific Senior Leagues, the Nettles card with the asshole on the bat knob. And the 1977 Star Wars C3PO card, which
Nice.
in the original trading card, unbeknownst to the company, It looked like C3PO had a certain appendage.
That's outstanding. Um, I found this one as well. And sometimes it's as simple as just the photograph being a reverse negative. If you look at the numbers for Juan Gonzalez here, they're reversed. That was an error card that was corrected. One of my all-time favorite pitchers, Randy Johnson. You'll see here in the description it says "ad blacked out." On the big billboard in the background, it had a Marlboro ad when the photo was taken. Baseball was going away from any type of tobacco advertising, and baseball cards in general didn't want it on there because of all the kids that collected. So those are just some fun examples of some of my all-time favorites. Um, I would say outside of those, I was looking through a list of top 15 overall. Barry Bonds, the most prolific home run hitter of all time, even though he did roids. His Donruss opening day rookie card had a picture of a wrong player or the wrong player on there. Like that's just embarrassing. So it's stuff like that. There's a Sam Vincent NBA hoops card that has Michael Jordan in the foreground wearing the number 12. Nobody quite knows why. So that's an interesting one. Super short print. Um, there's always reasons for it, but I'll go back to what I said in the beginning. I think the hobby gets a lot of attention when it comes to these error cards, and I think they really enjoy um, the attention and the money that people will spend on cards just trying to find that error. So I think half of it is planted, personally.
Well, of course, you can never forget about the younger trading cards as well when it comes to this too. Let me put my camera back, and there we go. Can always remember the more modern day error cards as well. The 2006 Topps Alex Gordon rookie card. He didn't get into the pros until 2007. Didn't make his major league debut until then. But still got a trading card in 2006 as a professional baseball player.
What for me is interesting about that one is it really sparked a change in how they did things in sports cards, especially when it comes to baseball. They're releasing baseball card rookies before these guys ever touched the big leagues now. And that was probably the first example of it. And now it's just an industry norm.
I got a decent one, kind of decent example as far as that.
Oh,
If I can find it,
mm,
there he is. A great example. I mean, Corbin Carroll, another great example. This here is his debut card from 2006, 2002 or 22. My apologies. But his debut card hadn't even touched the majors until August, so he fairly came in fairly
I
late.
keep losing you there, Raven.
Oh, you there?
Yeah, now I can hear you. You were speaking not into the mic, I think.
That's most likely what was happening. Yeah, but anyway, Corbin Carroll's August of 22. That card in particular kind of shows, hey, he's not fully considered a rookie until that following year, but he still came into the leagues after the All Star break.
Gotcha. All right. Well, week one is in the books, except for the Monday night game. Where do you want to start, Raven?
Well,
We're here to recap all of the games and talk about things that we expected, things we didn't. Where do you want to go?
I don't think he's ready yet for talking about Friday night's game, but let's start with Thursday's game.
All right. Real quick, if you had a theme for this week, what would your theme be?
Oh goodness gracious, that's a great question. I think more
At
than
least for
anything,
me. Go ahead.
I think for me, this week was mm, the world on fire. Kind of best way I can describe it.
Okay. And for me, I think the theme that comes out of week one is there's work left to be done.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
and we'll talk about our themes as we go through this. I think that'll be fun. So, you said you want to start with Friday or Thursday night's game. So, take us through the Eagles and Cowboys.
So, Eagles Cowboys, surprisingly a decent game. Cowboys were coming back near the end of the game, at least trying to make a comeback after the halftime. Leading up to halftime, it was decently close. They were only separated by a point, and Dallas couldn't do shit after halftime. No points put up in the third, no points put up in the fourth. They tried to make that comeback at the very end, but just yikes. Horrible game from Dallas, honestly.
So, at least for me, I thought Dallas played exceptionally well in the first half. The Eagles do what the Eagles do, and that's adjust. And it probably did not help that the weather was so bad. But that said, what stood out for me, this was a game the Cal Pukes should have won, uh, except for two unexplainable drops. Final drive by CeeDee Lamb, who otherwise had a great game, 7 catches, 110 yards. Um, like not a whole lot more you could have asked him to do beyond catch the ball. Like that for me was probably the most shocking thing was to see CeeDee Lamb drop two of them. And credit to Dak, he put the ball dead on the money. And when you do that, and your man doesn't get it done, your man doesn't drop the ball or doesn't hold on to the ball. Uh, wow, just ouch. Um, when we talked about in our preseason lead up, I said Dak Prescott was going to be my fantasy hit. He only threw for 188 yards, but realistically should have been 250 range, maybe 300. The run game was impressive. I thought they did exceptionally well there. Javonte Williams gets in the end zone twice. So overall, I would say if you ask the Eagles what they thought of this game, the words "work left to be done" are probably what Nick Sirianni came away with. So
most likely.
But they're 1-0, so there you go.
That'll walk us into Friday's game. Chiefs and the Chargers. Kind of what I mentioned. World on fire as far as world on fire this week. I mean, the Chiefs came out sluggish. They came out, didn't put up any points until the last few minutes in the second quarter, and then tried to make their comeback as much as they could, but just couldn't hold up. Couldn't hold off the Chargers at the end. Letting the Chargers secure that win against Kansas City just says a lot, especially about your division too. Says a lot.
Yep.
It says a lot about the Chiefs. It brings a lot of questions. Is the dynasty over? No, it's not.
You still hung over there, Kermit?
Kinda.
Yeah. Been a rough weekend for you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the whys. At least for me, what stood out. Third play of the game, you find out that you don't want to be flirting with Taylor Swift because otherwise Travis Kelce will just take you out.
She's feeling 22.
Feeling something. Xavier Worthy now dislocated shoulder, likely out for several weeks. If you're looking for a fantasy pickup or you're looking for somebody who should be the beneficiary, Hollywood Brown, 10 catches, 99 yards in this game. Travis Kelce did have a 37-yard touchdown catch. So it's nice. It's nice to see him get going early this year. I felt like he was very sluggish the first half of last year. Um, but that said, this is a Harbaugh-led team. There's a reason that they signed Jim Harbaugh to be their coach. There's a reason that Justin Herbert is still considered one of the best rookies out of his class. He's in his fifth year, uh, and if not for a terrible offensive line in the postseason last year, they might have gone further. They showed that they are one of the top teams in this division, and that this division is not going to be a cakewalk for anybody. What blows my mind, there are three teams in that division that are 1-0, and the Chiefs are not one of them. So look for Andy Reid and the Chiefs to figure it out. The defense will get back on track. Um, I don't think this is indicative of anything bigger for the Chiefs, other than the fact that it's a very tough division. I think they're going to win most of their out of division games. But again, I said it before. Let me just pull up my prediction just so I'm not misquoting myself. I said, scrolling down, Kansas City will miss the playoffs this year at 10-7. Xavier Worthy being out now, it's hard for him to be my fantasy hit. Travis Kelce better be the fantasy hit. He can't afford to be the fantasy bust that I expect him to be. So it is one game. We don't overreact to everything, but this was definitely a big one in the AFC West.
My stomach still hurts from the water down there.
Yeah, I'll bet it does.
All right, that'll bring us into Sunday.
Woohoo!
Oh boy, that was a lot of fun from Sunday. A lot of nail biters. A lot of nail biters really this week, surprisingly.
So before you pick a game, what was your biggest shock? What game provided the biggest shock to you in week one? And not best finish or anything like that, but which one did you not see coming?
Well, there's a couple of handfuls.
Give me one.
The Colts game.
There you go. There you go. Let's talk about that one. That's a good one to talk about. All right. Colts absolutely destroyed the Miami Dolphins, 33-8. The 8 points for the Dolphins coming at the end of the fourth quarter. That Indianapolis defense, if they play like that all year, any predictions either one of us had for the Indianapolis Colts are going out the window. More impressively, and maybe more importantly, I would say is the performance of Daniel Jones in this game.
Oh yeah,
22 of 29, 272 yards, 1 touchdown. A lot of us questioned whether or not Daniel Jones belonged in the NFL even anymore, and many of us questioned whether or not he was the right choice at starting quarterback for the Colts. He proved everybody wrong. You give that man an offensive line, and again, it's one game, don't overreact, but you give that man an offensive line, and he looks like a quality NFL starter again. So kudos go out to Daniel Jones, to that Indianapolis defense. And the real question is, how long now until the next Tyreek Hill meltdown?
Absolutely. No, I mean, I said it at the beginning when it came when we were making these predictions a couple of weeks ago. With the Miami Dolphins, the main question is Tua turned the ball over going to come out more often than not? And unfortunately, this game he came out far and few between, throwing 2 interceptions throughout the game. It got so bad to a point where they had to switch over to Zach Wilson, which, I mean, if that's happening, having to switch from your starter to your backup, that's kind of indicative of how the season is ultimately going to go. One thing that Tua has to do in order to turn around the season, I do know for a fact, he has to get the turnovers under control. But definitely agree with you. Daniel Jones proved pretty much everyone wrong.
Yep. One other big highlight that I want to talk about from that game, my fantasy hit, Tyler Warren, 7 catches, 76 yards on 9 targets. Led the team in catches, led the team in targets. Didn't get in the end zone, but And watch this kid. He is going to be a stud.
Absolutely. All right, there's a couple other surprises, and it's difficult to narrow down which one to talk about.
Oh,
Because
I know what you're going to talk about. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready.
something tells me you're gonna
Let's,
go with something stupid like Raiders, Patriots, or
let's
something.
no, let's go with this guy's game or this guy's team.
Oh, the Bungles.
Hey, by the way, this is an Evan McPherson from 2024 Select, numbered to 499. Kind of nice.
Oh,
This is the neon green prism. I
that
was
is
thinking you
nice.
might like that one. So we'll talk about how you can earn that. Okay. Um Bungles and the Browns, 17-16 final score, and it took, believe it or not, an amazing effort by the Bengals defense to hang on to this game. And we'll talk about that in a minute too. But what stood out for me, Joe Flacco, 31 of 45, 290 yards, one touchdown. A couple of throws at the very end of the game where maybe he showed his age a little bit short on these throws. Had they been on target, we might be talking about you on Suicide Watch. I don't know. Uh, yeah, just utterly incredible defensive battle. We knew the Browns defense would be good. Like you don't have Myles Garrett and not have a good defense. We knew their defense would be good. I did not think. Well, first of all, I didn't think this game would be that close. By the way, stupid Bengals cost me my wager. They needed win by 5.5. They win by one. By one? Are you kidding me? Um, Joe Burrow, man, get it together, bro. Like, get it together. 14 of 23, 113 yards and one TD against the Browns. How do you walk out of that game saying anything other than a lot to clean up, a lot of work to do? Um, yeah, not the Bengals offense any of us expect. T. Higgins, 3 catches, 33 yards. Apparently, that's worth $40 million a year. Jamar Chase, 2 catches, 26 yards. Apparently, that's worth $45 million a year. Noah Fant, the only touchdown, former Denver Bronco. I really liked Noah Fant. I was sad when we included him in the trade to get Russell Wilson. Noah Fant could be a nice pickup there in Cincinnati fantasy wise, but uh, Dylan Sampson at running back for Cleveland, only 30 yards rushing, 64 yards receiving on 8 catches. This guy might be the solution at running back if they can stay close in games. So keep an eye on him. For the Bengals, man, y'all better figure it out because the Cleveland Browns should not be able to hang within 1 point and have a shot at the end of the game to beat you.
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, that's one thing that Ryan and I were talking about leading up to the game. We were hoping the Bengals wouldn't have that slow start out of the gate. Luckily, they didn't disappoint in the win category, but I have to agree with what Joe Burrow wound up saying in his press conference after. There's a lot to clean up offensively.
Yep.
Defensively, there's still some growing pains on defense, but offensively, I absolutely 100% agree. There is so many things that have to be cleaned up, specifically on the offensive line. A lot of the plays that wound up breaking down were because of pressure. Were because of pressure towards Joe Burrow. He got sacked, I want to say twice. On one of our drives, with Myles Garrett getting to the quarterback freely. So definitely, offensive line needs to clean up their act slightly. But other than that, I mean, they played decent, and that's all that you have to do against the Browns. You just play decent enough, and you'll beat the Browns because the Browns are far too focused on beating themselves up. Now, on top of it, when it comes to talking about the defense from this game, shocked the ever living hell out of me. I mean, the 2 interceptions with DJ Turner II and Jordan Battle, two guys that I felt were stalwarts on this defense. They played exceptionally well overall. The defense really wound up concreting itself towards the end of the game, which I was happy to see. But I mean, there's so much more on both on offense and defense. They have to clean up. Defense, they have to figure out their defense at the beginning of the game. Offense, they have to learn to be consistent throughout the year and consistent throughout the game in general.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we look at at the records at the end of the year, not at the scoreboard. So you're going to hear this a lot as we talk about the games from this week. A win is a win is a win, and for Cincinnati, it's a win. So 1-0 on the books.
And at least we weren't as bad as the Browns kicker, though. Jeez Louise, missed a crucial field goal, missed an extra point. More than anything, number one, you have one job to do as a kicker in the NFL, and that's kick the ball through the upright. And this kid couldn't do it.
Yep.
If he had hit the extra point, and that field goal we were talking about, we're talking about a Bengals loss instead of a Bengals win.
Yep. Yep. So scary stuff, man. You don't want to toy with them. All right. Let's go down south. Let's talk about from the early games. Buccaneers 23, Falcons 20. Take us through it.
That was shocking to see, honestly. The Falcons. I mean, the
Oh,
Falcons start out with a Bijan touchdown for once. 50 yard
yep.
50-yard pass from Michael Penix Jr. Emeka Ibuka, he got 2 touchdowns this game, first and second career touchdowns. So happy to see that. And again, going back to the whole kicker discussion, like I was talking about earlier, one thing the kickers I wound up seeing this week, they saw that field goal post about yay wide. For those of you watching, for my dad, since he's not able to see my camera, it was about the size of a door frame, essentially. Um, we had Young Wei Koo, or Young Hoku, however you want to pronounce it, missing his field goal right near the end of the game to wind up selling them the game. Um, Buccaneers played sound football as well. Again, the couple of passing touchdowns for Baker Mayfield with the 2 to Emeka Ibuka, 1 to Bucky Irvin. Just seeing how well Baker Mayfield play as a Bengals fan makes me happy to see that the Browns fumbled a generational quarterback, because that's something that Cleveland happens to do, every other year, give or take.
Feels like it. Well,
Yeah, it feels
every year
like
since
it.
99.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every year since they came back, Tim, you can sit and talk about Cleveland Browns quarterback history. Tim Couch, Surgeon the Spurgeon win. Um, of course, I blank on the rest because they're so forgettable. But Baker Mayfield, the one quarterback that they could have kept around for generations and been more successful with than they've been with the tenure of Deshaun Watson. He's going to be sitting riding the bench here for another year or two. Well, you have a quarterback that could have been winning you games, getting you to the playoffs consistently each year with Baker Mayfield. But Baker really performed a lot better than I thought he would the beginning of the year. Of course, with Atlanta, I thought that it would be a lot wider of a margin of a win, but 3-point win for them is actually really good.
So what's funny, and I almost have to go back and read the text. I was very, very close on this one. When I made my bet for the week, I took Tampa Bay to win, and I sent my pick off to Mike. For those of you who have watched the show before, you've seen Mike in here before. Sent the pick off to Mike. Mike says, "I agree with all of your picks except for Tampa Bay." Says Falcons are going to win this game. And I said, no, no. I said, it's going to come down to a 3-point game at the end. I actually thought it'd be a field goal at the end for Tampa. Who knows if this game ended up going to overtime because the Atlanta kicker makes his kick, then, maybe it ends up being that field goal at the end. But I said Tampa by 3. This was not a surprise for me. Tampa is destined to win this division. These two teams are the class of the division, in my opinion. It's going to be these two teams the entire season. Michael Penix Jr. played well, 27 of 42, 298, 1 touchdown. He also ran for 1. Bijan Robinson, I said he'd be my bust. 6 catches, 100 yards, the touchdown. So there you go. That's 22 points. But let's not miss the fact 12 carries, 24 yards, averaged 2 yards per carry in this game. They got to be better. Tyler Allgeier, 10 carries, 24 yards. If you are running the ball 12 times and your backup is running the ball 10 times, that speaks volumes about the fact that they just don't have a lot of trust in their offensive line to open up some holes. Kyle Pitts, he had a nice game, 7 catches, 59 yards. Drake London, 8 catches, 55 yards. The big 3 that you expect to perform down there in Atlanta, they performed. Michael Penix Jr. played well, no interceptions, no turnovers. That's what you look for out of a rookie/second-year quarterback to give your team a chance to win. That said, Baker Mayfield, not the best game, 17 of 32, barely 50% or barely over 50% on his completions, but he makes big plays in big play situations. And, for Emeka Egbuka to come in and get 2 touchdowns in his first game on only 4 catches, the trust that he has, or that Baker has in him, throwing him that touchdown pass at the end, the guy can play. And I really do think Emeka Egbuka is going to be a monster this year, potential Rookie of the Year candidate. But otherwise, very pedestrian from the Buccaneers. It's a win, but again, work to be done, things to clean up, and I think that's probably where what to watch for in Tampa Bay this week.
Definitely. All right.
Where do you want to go?
I think we go up north. Talk about the Packers and the Lions.
Oh, we got to save the good ones for the very end.
All right, we'll save the good one for the very end. So we'll talk about one of the more cakewalk ones that I had: Denver and Tennessee.
Just had to put this out there already. Oh, okay.
He's preparing himself. I didn't
Denver's
even see the box score. I didn't even see the box score. Oh my God.
Didn't even see the box score. My goodness. All right. Well, let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, Denver's defense said it at the outset, said it before the season started. This defense is going to be a monster, and it was. Holding Tennessee Titans to 12 points, exactly what they were supposed to do. Didn't give up a touchdown, gave up 4 field goals, a couple of those coming on short field situations due to interceptions by Bo Nix, a fumble by Bo Nix. You cannot make those mistakes as a second-year quarterback if your team is going to win games. Now, that said, he did some nice things. 25 of 40, 176. He did have a touchdown to Cortland Sutton. What stood out for me, Sean Payton being the coach that he is, he recognized that Bo Nix was not having the game he needed to have. He adjusted. Broncos carried the ball 22 times between their 2 backs, with J.K. Dobbins getting the majority of the carries, but R.J. Harvey, 6 carries, 70 yards, 11-yard average. This guy's explosive. Just watch out. This guy is just, he's coming. He's coming. I think they coached the game well, and they played well in certain situations. But you've got to clean up the mistakes. You've got to clean up those throws. You can't turn the ball over, or it's not going to matter. Not in this division. They walk out of the game 1-0. Cam Ward looked like a rookie quarterback, 12 of 28, 112 yards. It took until the very end of the fourth quarter for him to crack 100 yards passing. Tony Pollard, 18 carries, 60 yards. Again, good coaching down in Tennessee. Put the ball in Pollard's hands, take the pressure off of Cam. But at the end of the day, when you need a score, you need your quarterback to be able to go out there and win the game for you, and he just couldn't get it done. So, um,
Well,
real key drive in this game. Tennessee down 13-12 had driven into field goal range. Ward took back-to-back sacks for a total of 25 yards that pushed them out of field goal range, took away the chance in the fourth quarter for them to be leading this game. At least for me, that was the story of the game. A rookie quarterback making rookie mistakes. Denver escapes, but a lot of work to be done.
well, for those of you watching this young man right here, of course I know you can't see it, Dad, but this young man right here, Bo Nix, say it with me: sophomore slump. He's gonna have a
No,
sophomore slump. I have a feeling
no,
of it. One time, I
no,
mean, I'm
no. We'll
sorry.
talk
I'm
about
sorry to
sophomore
say it.
slump in a
We're gonna
minute.
sit here and argue about it. Bo Nix, being fully honest, doing this against a weaker opponent, an opponent that won what 3 to 4 games last week, throwing 2 interceptions and having that fumble in the game is embarrassing. He does that against a weaker opponent. What is he going to do against a tougher opponent? He's going to have an even worse game. I'm sorry to say it. Bo Nix had a rough game this week, and it very well could be replicated throughout the weeks. I know you hate to hear it, but sophomore
Yeah,
slump incoming. But I do agree with
yeah,
you, though. What Sean Payton did was smart. He gave majority of the offense to the running backs at the very end, near the end of the game. Realizing Bo Nix was having his struggles, he decided to go ahead and lean on those running backs a lot. Um,
yep.
Tennessee, a lot for them to clean up, especially in the quarterback area. Um, I don't blame Cam Ward one bit for this game. He's a rookie quarterback in a terrible situation, um, going to one of the worst teams in the NFL. Um, you're gonna have your tough games, and this is unfortunately is one of his tougher games. Denver overall is a tough team to try and beat, but as a rookie, it's a lot. It's a huge undertaking to try and do. But again, we'll have to
Yep.
see what happens with Denver through the rest of the year. But
Yep.
again, my number one thing I want to say at this point is, Dad, get ready for the sophomore slump.
You can keep hoping.
All right, where
All
do we
right.
go next?
Uh, Vegas, baby.
Oh, the Patriots. I always love talking about them being terrible.
Yep. All right. So as far as surprises go, this one got me. I did not think the Raiders even were going to go into New England and be able to handle the New England Patriots the way they did. So, star of the game, man, Geno Smith, 24 of 34, 362, and a touchdown. If you had told me going into New England with a new Aaron or Mike Vrabel led defense that they were gonna put those kind of numbers up, no way. Don't buy it. Um, Ashton Genty makes his debut, 19 carries, 38 yards. He does get his touchdown. What stood out for me again, this Raiders defense, like they played exceptionally well against the run. New England could not run the ball no matter who was trying to run it. Trayvon Henderson, the guy that I said will be your breakout rookie this year, 5 carries, 27 yards, and he led the team almost double in terms of rushing yards over anyone else. So uh, shocking. We'll go with shocking to see the Raiders walk away 1-0. 3 teams out of 4 in the West now 1-0. AFC West, man, it's going to be rough. Brock Bowers, though, still looks like a stud. 5 catches, 103 yards. Keishon Butte, real nice game for New England, 103 yards receiving on 6 catches. Drake May gets a touchdown in 287, but did have an interception. Um, you got to hope, if you're a Patriots fan, that this is not indicative of the year they're going to have. They can't lose these close games every single time and expect to come out of this thing okay. So nice to see Stephon Diggs make his debut, 6 catches, 57 yards. Good to see him healthy again. As a Viking fan and a fan of the Minneapolis Miracle, I'll always like Stephon Diggs. Um, Never nice to see the Raiders steal a win where you didn't expect them to steal a win. I think I have to add one more win now to my preseason prediction of 6 wins for them. So, but we'll see. Good start for the Raiders, and it's clear why they brought in Pete. The head coach situation there, the quarterback situation there, it all got better. The running back got better. Look for the Raiders to maybe make some surprise noises here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, shocked the ever living heck out of me. This is a one game I did have down that the Raiders would ultimately lose, but shocked me in winning. More than anything, with great game that Brock Bowers had, 5 for 103. You almost had 200-yard receivers in this game. Both Brock and Jacoby Myers, both of them had an exceptional game this week. But my one big surprise this week would have to come down to the receiving in New England with Stephon Diggs. He was touted to be the number one receiver in this offense. Stephon was going to have a huge impact week 1. Stephon's going to do this. Stephon's going to do that. 6 catches, 57 yards. Definitely is something where you sit back and say, well, I didn't expect a game like that to happen. And you sit and start questioning Stephon Diggs. What happened? Why didn't you have the game that we were all expecting you to have? But more than anything, New England shocked me overall with having as decent of a game as they did. But definitely a lot more to clean up, really on both teams. Both quarterbacks ultimately had an ugly interception in this game, so tightening up that part of the offense, avoiding the turnovers definitely is going to help out each of these teams throughout the year. More than anybody, it'll help out Vegas a lot more to tweak that part of their game in order to be able to compete with everybody else in their division, with the Broncos and with the Chargers. I do have to update my prediction a little bit. I said that Denver may be able to come out and win this division this year. I'm now looking at the Chargers. I'm looking at the Chargers a lot more intently right now. They took down the big dog in the division in Kansas City, a team that's coming off their Super Bowl loss where they looked horrible, and the Chargers are ultimately made their adjustments in the offseason and were able to kind of dissect Kansas City and be able to kind of break down their game overall. So if you think they did that to Kansas City, what do you think they did? They did for both Denver and Las Vegas.
So I won't go that far yet. Again, week 1 is all about overreactions. We all like to get super excited with week 1 results. It's 1 of 17. And the things that happened this week in this division, with the exception of the Raiders, were things I expected: a win, a loss. And I did expect the Chargers to be able to take care of the Chiefs. So that was not a surprise to me. I'm not going to jump on, I'm not going to jump on and say they're going to be able to handle the rest of this division the way they handled the Chiefs in week 1, especially with that Denver defense looking the way it does. So we'll see. I'll stick with my predictions. That's kind of the fun of a preseason prediction, is to ride it out. But I definitely agree the Chargers look like potentially the second best team in this division. Hey, real quick, before we jump on to the next one, give you a chance to win a sports card here. We're not going to do Evan McPherson yet, but I got bored while we were sitting here doing this, and bored, not really bored, but my ADHD kicked in. I opened up 2 packs of 1990 Fleer football I'll give you a chance to, without cheating, no looking this up on the internet. Tell me who was the number one draft pick in 1990?
Oh Lord, 1990.
I'll help you out. Detroit Lions.
Oh, I know it was a receiver.
No cheating. In
Um,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was a quarterback.
oh, quarterback.
Now you're looking it up. How about Andre Ware?
Oh, Andre Ware.
I opened 2 packs and I pulled 2.
Oh,
Pretty sick. All right. But I will give you a chance to win your Evan McPherson. Do you like a chance to win your Evan McPherson, or maybe we just start with how about T Higgins? Yeah, we can do that one. Give you a chance to win a T Higgins. T Higgins from the Cincinnati Bengals, numbered to 49.
ooh, that's pretty.
Daryl, if you can tell me, based on true QBR this week, what winning quarterback was ranked number 12 overall this week amongst the starters?
Russell Wilson.
I guess I said winning quarterback. You were
Oh,
so close.
winning
We'll
quarterback. My
save that
apologies.
one for later. But we're going to go talk about that game. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers and the
Oh,
Pittsburgh
Aaron.
Steelers.
I bet our Steelers go to the Super Bowl. Okay, you're not going to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk about in your division. Pittsburgh Steelers 34-32. I'm going to let you lead off with this one. Give me your takeaways.
Well, I'm a bit embarrassed because this is one that I had the Steelers losing. Aaron Rodgers going back into MetLife, and going back into MetLife, you know for a fact he was going to be drowned by booze. And no, I don't mean alcohol. I mean the fans booing him. Aaron Rodgers shocked the ever living hell out of me, throwing 4 touchdowns in that game alone. And of course, press conference afterwards, you have to laugh at him, saying, "I'm happy to beat anybody associated with the Jets organization." You know for a fact he was probably on some sort of drug to be able to play that well. I'm kidding, of course. I'm not assuming anything. But Aaron Rodgers shocked the ever living hell out of me. 4 touchdowns, 22 for 30, 244 yards. Um, Relying very heavily on Calvin Austin the third. My apologies. Two guys I was kind of surprised that had as huge of an impact on the receiving game as they did. Ben Skoranek, and Jalen Warren, of course, out of the backfield, had himself a receiving touchdown rather than a rushing touchdown. But Jonnu Smith, five catches, 15 yards with his touchdown. DK Metcalf, we knew the connection was going to be there with Aaron Rodgers, and that connection was there. 4 catches, 83 yards was very impressive for him. Um, Defense played as everybody knew. Defense was going to play phenomenal this week, and they did. They showed up. They showed up, and they showed that they were here. That they were here to play. Always, always, and forever, what the Pittsburgh Steelers will be known for is their defense. Always going to be their defense. The I give a lot of credit to the Jets as well, playing as well as they did. Justin Fields coming out against his former team, the team that really should have kept him overall. I mean, 16 for 22, 218 yards, a touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns as well from the young man. 12 carries for 48 yards. Breece Hall had the game that I knew he was going to have, 19 for 107. Braylon Allen, 6 attempts, 9 yards with his lone touchdown as well. We knew the connection was going to be there between Fields and Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, 7 catches, 95 yards, and that lone touchdown. Xavier Gibson. I was kind of shocked with Xavier Gibson with the fumble and the lost fumble on the kick return that he had. But overall, I mean, the Jets played beyond what we thought they were going to play, and they played very well.
Um, so I don't know which game you were watching, but anytime you give up 150 yards to a running back and a quarterback on the ground, and anytime you have to kick a 60-yard field goal to win a game and you give up more than 30 points, I was blown away by how poorly the Pittsburgh defense played. Kudos to Justin Fields. First of all, I thought he played an exceptional game, 16 of 22, 218 yards, and then the ability to change the game on the ground with his feet. That's what he's known for. I think you saw two quarterbacks who basically swapped teams this offseason, really looking to prove to the other team that they were wrong. Aaron Rodgers comes out on top. Now, I mentioned the stat. This was kind of a fun stat. I've never really been too big into QBR, not in a single game. But the fact that he was 12th overall, Aaron Rodgers, with his 4 touchdowns, his 244 yards in the win, that blew my mind. And then it was pointed out that a couple of these touchdowns were very short ones, the push pass to Jonnu Smith. But the one thing I think Aaron Rodgers does maybe better than any quarterback of this generation is his ability to involve absolutely everyone. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 different people with catches in this game, and 6 of those 7 with multiple catches. He does a really nice job of taking what the defense will give him. No interceptions, no turnovers for Rodgers. That was, I think, the biggest thing that I saw looking back at last year versus this year. The ability to avoid the turnover. And at the end of the day, he put him in a position to give him a chance to win the game, which they did. Uh, Pittsburgh escapes one here. I didn't expect the Jets to be in this game. Didn't expect it to be close. The fact that they were, kudos, maybe turning a corner there in New York. But again, another year, another Jets letdown, and the Steelers have to walk away going, we have a lot of work to do. So, fun game, though. Definitely a fun one to watch.
All right, we got a few more to talk about here. We still got the Commies, Giants, Cardinals, Saints, and Rams, Texans, Niners, Seahawks,
Yep.
Jags, Panthers, and Bills, Ravens. Where do you want to go next?
Well, let's fly through a quick one here. Let's go Commies Commanders. This
Commies,
game played out
Giants.
exactly as I think every single one of us expected. I don't think anyone here was shocked. I don't think there was a moment in this game that stood to be a shocker. Washington takes control right away. Washington wins going away 21-6. Russell Wilson looks like Russell Wilson. Less than 50% on the completions, 168 yards, was pressured all over the field all day long. So heartbreaking debut for Russell. He's one of those guys. It's really hard to hate him, even as a Bronco fan. When he came and he didn't live up to the billing there. It's really hard to hate a guy like Russell Wilson. I think he benefited in Seattle under Pete Carroll, and an rushing offense that opened up the field for him. He hasn't had that since, and he won't. Russell Wilson, I think, is probably destined to be removed after week 3. He's been named the starter for week 2. He's got to do better under pressure. If he can't find a way to get the ball out under pressure to his receivers, his time will be short-lived. The only star for New York, I thought, was Malik Neighbors, 5 catches, 71 yards. You saw some other receivers put up numbers, but basically that's because they were so far out of the game they couldn't run the ball. The greatest highlight that I saw out of this whole friggin' game was the catch by Cam Skattebo, running over 3 defenders before finally getting tackled for 3 yards. You got to love a little wrecking ball like him. Cracks me the hell up. On the Washington side, though, the performance I think we kind of expect. Jaden Daniels Not a huge performance, but it didn't need to be. 19 to 30, 233 and a touch. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, 10 carries, 82 yards. I thought he looked spectacular, as well as one touchdown. Debo with a nice debut, 19-yard rush for a touchdown and 7 catches, 77 yards. This is the team we expect Washington to be. This is the team we expect the Giants to be. No real surprises here. Look for the Giants to be picking number 1 overall, and look for Jackson Dart to be in the lineup by week 4.
Yeah, that's one game I didn't really even pay attention to while everything was going on. I mean, they were already down going into what, the fourth quarter, and there was no
Oh,
real
they were down
sign.
from the first quarter.
Yeah, yeah, they had nothing going on after the after the third quarter. They did nothing. 2 field goals in the game, something something that I didn't expect to happen week 1 for the Giants. Russell Wilson didn't live up to the didn't live up to the hype. He did not. Um, Everybody knows that fairly soon Russell Wilson, if he does not improve his play, you're going to see the young kid get his start with Jackson Dart. I'm still very in favor of Jackson Dart making his start here fairly soon. But just Russell Wilson did not live up to the money he received. Cam Scatbo, I agree. He had a great couple of plays when it came to the receiving game, but when it came to the rushing game, I mean, 2 carries, -3 yards. As an ASU guy, I am happy to see that he got his debut in the NFL, but not happy to see how he produced on the ground. College, as everybody says, college and the pros are 2 different games, 2 huge different games, and just Scappo could not adjust his game to the NFL comparatively. Of course, it's just week 1, so we'll have to see what happens the rest of the year. But yeah, I do agree with what you said about Jaden Daniels. I mean, this was a game that he really didn't have to, outperform. I mean, the Giants are one of the sadder teams in the NFL right now.
Yep.
They are a far cry from what Eli did with them to get to the playoff, get to the playoffs and squeak in as a wild card team just to come down and beat the undefeated Patriots in that Super Bowl. They're a far cry from that team, and I mean, really, at this point, you have to hope and pray that your young kids start to develop more to be able to be that dominant team.
Yep. No, I agree. Rough game for the Giants, but expect that. And it's always fun to go back and look at your notes, even after week 1, from the predictions that you made. Let me pull up my prediction for the Giants and see exactly what I said. But I'm pretty sure that I said, where are they? There they are. Brian Dable will not survive beyond the middle of the year. Russell Wilson will likely start the first 6 games, so I think I can update that. We're going to get to see Jackson Dart soon, and that Malik Neighbors would be the only fantasy hit. So, uh, gosh, it's almost like I painted a picture for him. Really rough first half of the year for them in terms of schedule. Don't look for them to do anything. So, all right. Let's see. How about Panthers Jags?
That's another game I wasn't surprised by.
Yep.
Panthers did not perform as well as anybody knew that they were going to. Bryce Young, everybody thought he was going to come and build off of the success he had at the very end of the year. Unfortunately, he didn't. 18 for 35, 154 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Definitely not what you want to have as far as starting quarterbacks numbers, especially in week 1. I mean, they didn't really do anything as far as running the ball either. Chuba Hubbard, their leading rusher, 16 for 57. Great. I mean, it was a great performance from Ted McMillan. 5 receptions, 68 yards. Great. great to see the connection between him and Bryce Young so early into the season. Hopefully they build on that connection there. And I do want to correct myself as far as Chuba Hubbard. He did have that great play where he did get that touchdown ultimately there, being the only one who could actually score. Bryce Young as well with his fumble in the game. It's not what you want to see from a starting caliber quarterback. Um, Travis Hunter definitely had the debut that a lot of people thought that he would, playing more on the offense rather than on the defense. I mean, 6 catches for 33 yards. We were definitely hoping for a touchdown from him this week, but unfortunately couldn't get it done. However, a great game overall from Trevor Lawrence. Wish he got into that 200-yard receiving game this week, but he couldn't get it done. 1 touchdown, 1 interception in the game is definitely ugly. Travis Etienne Jr., on the other hand, 16 carries for 143 yards. That's a guy I wish. That's a guy I wish I drafted number 1 overall. But more than anything, I mean, the 2 interceptions for Jordan Lewis and Foyesade Olukun. I don't know how to pronounce that name. My apologies, but the game that the Jaguars ultimately had comparatively to the Panthers was just insane to see, especially with the prediction I had that week.
Yeah. I don't know what more to say about Bryce Young other than Bryce Young is back. Man, it's tough because he sure looked like a different quarterback the second half of last year than what we just saw. He looked like a quarterback that was starting to figure it out, was starting to understand, the throws that he had to be able to make, the choices he had to make. Day he just looked lost. The 2 interceptions, both on him. You can't, these were not mistakes by the receiver. And then at 4th and 1, throws the ball out of the end zone, slams his helmet down afterward. I love that he's a competitor. I truly do. But this was a huge step backward for him. On the other side, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he did enough. Travis Etienne Jr., definitely the story here. I had him labeled as my fantasy bust. He starts off the first week with 143 yards, the 71 yards on the 1 touchdown run. He looked great. He really looked great. I think he's got the potential to be exactly what he's supposed to be all year long if they can keep handing him the ball and they can keep being in complete control of games. Where I think they'll get in trouble and why I have them at 8 and 9 again. I don't think that they can do this every single week. I just don't. I think that the bigger reality or bigger likelihood is they're going to be in games where they're going to have to rely on Trevor Lawrence to get them down the field. And I just still don't see that. So 1-0 for the Jaguars. Panthers, a lot to work on. And hopefully, I'd like to see Jacksonville be able to do it. I do like Jacksonville. They're a fun team to watch when they're winning. They're a fun team to watch when they're losing. You can't really hate that team, period. But nice to see them get in the win column. So, all right. Let's see. What do we have left here? We haven't talked about the hometown team. Let's talk about our Cards.
Oh boy, when the Saints go marching into this factory of sadness, as I mentioned earlier on in the year. Great win for the Cardinals overall. A win is a win is a win. Kyler Murray performed a lot better than I thought he would this week. 21 for 29, 163 yards with 2 touchdowns. Definitely outperformed what I thought he would this week. Trey Benson, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the year, Trey Benson had a phenomenal week this week. He honestly should be getting more carries than James Conner, in my personal opinion. 8 carries for 69 yards. James Conner couldn't do anything. 12 carries, 39 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr., happy to see the connection is still there between the quarterback and the wide receiver. Harrison with 5 receptions, 71 yards in that touchdown. Trey McBride, tight end, we all knew he was going to be at the beginning of the year. Six receptions, 61 yards. Just wish he got into the end zone a couple times, at least once or twice. James Conner, I do want to correct myself once again, like I always have to do. The 4 receptions for 5 yards and that single touchdown he got. But overall, I mean, as a team, they performed very well against a weaker opponent in the Saints. 20 Spencer Rattler, 27 for 46, 214 yards. No touchdowns, but no interceptions. So you can look at the positive there. Alvin Kamara surprised me more than anything. 11 carries, 45 yards with his single touchdown. I didn't think he'd be able to get to the end zone in general with his weaker legs. But more than anything with the Saints, I mean, they played smart, sound football. They just have to tweak a few things and be able to keep up with some of the tougher teams in the division, in their division this year.
So again, one of those games you looked at going into this week, and you said this, this one is an easy one to pick. The game was a lot closer than the 20-13 score. Honestly, Arizona did enough. Kyler Murray, 21 of 29. Nice to see the completion percentage, but only for 163. The 2 touchdowns were great, but took 5 sacks. And Kyler has got to find a way to get rid of the ball quicker. And this offense in general, they've got to find a way to get the ball out quick. He likes to go down the field. He likes to hold on to the ball. He likes to count on his running ability, which 7 carries, 38 yards, not bad. He likes to extend plays. But in this day and age, you've got to find a way to get the ball out and not take those sacks. Trey Benson, definite bright spot. I really like Trey. I really do. He's probably going to be a 50-50 type back all year long with James Conner. They just gave James a 2-year extension, so I don't expect him to stop using him. Marvin Harrison, nice touchdown reception on the crossing route. Fun fact, without peeking, Daryl, how many touchdowns does Marvin Harrison now have?
In his career?
In his career. No peeking.
I want to say 10.
Oh, you were good. You were close. 9 total touchdowns now in his career, tied with Larry Fitzgerald for the quickest to get to 9 in his first 18 NFL games. So very, very fun to watch Marvin Harrison start to figure it out. 5 catches, 71 yards. Trey McBride, the 6 for 61. But more importantly, Trey McBride moved the chains. But those were your only 2 real stars on the receiving side. They've got to get some other guys involved. Somebody else is going to have to step up for this team. On the other side of the ball, I really liked the performance by Spencer Rattler. No real mistakes. He's not a quarterback that I see winning them a lot of games, but he also won't lose them games. Juwan Johnson had a very nice debut for them. I thought he played well. Chris Olave in and out of the lineup all day with a foot injury. Same knock we've always had on Chris Olave. If he could just stay healthy. Rashid Shaheed had a nice debut. I felt like New Orleans spread the ball around well. And Spencer Rattler did a real nice job of taking whatever this defense would give him. Alvin Kamara's rushing line or stat line doesn't really give him the credit he deserves. First half of that game, he ran all over this defense. And then the Cardinals defense made some adjustments. So they walk out 1-0, win a game they're supposed to win. The Saints lose a game they're supposed to lose. No real shocks.
All right, where do we want to go next? Because we still got the Niners, Seahawks, Packers, Lions, Rams, Texans, and Bills, Ravens still to go.
I will say Bills, Ravens. Niners, Seahawks, 17-13. Let me just say this. Kyle Shanahan's a genius. You're about to face a defense that is traditionally very tough. face a team you have a lot of trouble with. So what do? On Thursday, you come out with an injury report saying Christian McCaffrey is injured. What happens? The whole world blows up. Oh my gosh, he's not going to play. He's hurt. What did he do? He just came out, ran the ball 22 times for 69 yards, caught 9 passes for 73 yards. He was the Christian McCaffrey of 2 years ago, not the Christian McCaffrey of last year. Brock Purdy, very nice effort, 26 to 35, 277, 2 touchdowns. But same thing that plagued him last year, 2 interceptions. He keeps turning the ball over. He's got to fix that. Kudos go out to my fantasy hit. I'm actually pretty proud of this one. I really am. And I'm going to be proud of him all year long. Ricky Pearsall. Ricky P, man, 4 catches, 108 yards. ASU Sun Devil, man. He's got it. He's just got that something that you look for in a young receiver. He wants that ball. George Kittle out injured already. He was almost my fantasy bust. The only reason I didn't go George Kittle was because of CMC and his history. Like, I just didn't like the gamble there. George Kittle would have been my number 2 at fantasy bust for the Niners, but they come away with a win on 10 points in the fourth quarter. Brock Purdy doing it again, finding a way to take this team to give them the chance for the win and take them down and get the win in the end. Third stringer Jake Tongas, Purdy finds Tongas for the win on the late touchdown. Like, this is a San Francisco team, and this is what they do every year, and this is why I've got them in 9-8. They're not a team that I expect to win a lot of games, but on the other side of the ball, the fantasy bust that I called, that we all said, that he's being drafted 32nd overall amongst quarterbacks in fantasy before the league year started. Sam Darnold, what in the F? 16 to 23. Yay, good job. Good completion percentage for 150 yards, and 9 of those go to JSN for 124. Where are the other receivers in Seattle? Cooper Kupp, 2 for 15. Fantasy bust. I think I called that. Zach Charbonnet, the leading rusher, 12 for 47 and touchdown. But Kenneth Walker III, the guy that Mike thought was going to be the fantasy star, 10 for 20. Like, Seattle's a joke. Seattle is an absolute joke. They'll still win the 6 games I said they'll win. It just won't be in division. I think they might lose all 6 games in this division. Just not what you wanted to see if you're going to talk about this team having any shot of competing this year. Defense played well. 2 interceptions. Not enough. Just not enough. So San Fran emerges with a win, a hard-fought win in Seattle. This is exactly the San Fran team I expect to see.
No, I have to agree with a lot of the sentiments you said, especially about the Seahawks receiving core. Sure, you got JSN, with 124 yards, but nobody else did anything. Everybody going into this year was thinking that it was going to be Cooper Kupp as wide receiver 1, JSN as wide receiver 2. I knew JSN would be the hit this year, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I did put in as Cooper Kupp as the either Cooper Kupp or Sam Darnold is my bust from what I remember.
You called Cooper Kupp your stud.
No, I didn't.
Oh, did you save your notes?
I didn't save my notes. I did. And
Okay.
I remember saying
I want to go
JSN was
back
that
and see
bust.
this.
All right, let's see here. Go back to all my notes. Give me one brief moment.
Yep. I had mine up because I was excited to talk about them.
It's going to take me a brief moment because for some reason, I'm not finding them.
Supposed to have those saved, sir.
I do have them saved somewhere.
Oh, crap. Give me a second. I also got to check something.
Here they are. There we go. While he's looking at that, yes, I had my good fantasy pick is JSN, and then my bad fantasy pick is Cooper Cup.
Okay, there we go. Good job.
But yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. I mean, we knew JSN was going to be the bigger player this year, and it very well could be the same thing. JSN is the best player. Cooper Cup is the number 2, possibly even falling into that number 3, especially with his play from this week. But Brock Purdy, I do feel that he played serviceable versus the Seahawks, but the 2 interceptions were just ugly. Like he just got the huge contract this offseason. If he wants to live up to the big numbers he just got with the contract, he has to play better sound football. Honestly, limit the turnovers, and he'll be one of the better quarterbacks this year. You looked excited there for a brief moment here. What's up?
I'm excited. I'm excited. So I just got this text message from Degree Grading that my order is now in the assembly phase. They're placing my card in slabs and preparing for encapsulation. I'm gonna lose it. That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna lose it.
I also happen to hit. I still, to this day, don't know why this guy is a big deal, but Greg Jeffries rookie card, base $1.65, but PSA 10. This is an $88 card. I just happened to pull, and it's so clean. Okay, all right, moving on.
We got 3 games left: Rams, Texans, Packers, Lions, and Bills, Ravens. I think
all right, let's.
I think we go
Yeah,
Rams,
go ahead.
Texans first, and then we'll transition into Packers, Lions.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So Rams, Texans. Every once in a while, you got to have a snooze fest, right? You got to have one of those games that, even though it's close, like it's like the Rams when they were in the Super Bowl a few years ago, and what was it, like 10-6 or something like that? I don't even remember. But
It was like 9-12
Rams,
or something like that.
Rams do just enough. Rams do just enough. Matthew Stafford again. There's a reason I love this guy. 21 of 29, 245 and a touchdown, no interceptions. Took 3 sacks, but nothing crazy. Puka Nakua, I apologize. I was wrong. I didn't mean to make you mad, bro. Didn't mean to make you mad. 10 catches, 130 yards. No touchdowns, but that's okay. Kyron Williams, 18 carries, 66 yards. He puts up a touchdown. And Davis Allen with 1 catch for a touchdown. Like, this is the Rams. They do just enough on offense, but they do incredible things on defense that just you can't help but be impressed. They're incredible. CJ Stroud, pedestrian effort, 19 of 27, 188 yards, takes 3 sacks for 37 of those yards, 1 interception. Your running game, Nick Chubb, 13 carries, 60 yards, not bad. But none of these receivers were game breakers. Nobody made a big play. And if Nico Collins can't do more than 25 yards receiving every game, Houston's in trouble. But again, this is a game I expected. You expect the Rams to win some close games. You expect this defense to be very, very good. It's exactly what they did. They kept them out of the end zone, gave up 3 field goals, and walk away with a win. I'm sure if you ask the Rams, there's some things they'd like to work on. Davante Adams getting 4 catches, nice start for him. But only 2 receivers with more than 1 catch, or I'm sorry, 3 receivers with more than 1 catch, and one of those 3 went for a -6 yards. So work to be done in LA, but they emerged with a win. No real shock.
I agree. I mean, honestly, game that I was expecting for the Texans this week. Rams, as always, are a tougher opponent, especially in these types of games. Whenever it's a team that everybody's predicting they're going to lose to, they always come out and win. Matthew Stafford definitely played some sound football there with his 245 yards with his touchdown. The one part of their team of the team that needs to be improved is definitely in the receiving core with the Rams. He had one guy going over 100 yards, one guy going over 50. Everybody else couldn't crack over 20 to 30. But one guy I really felt needs to improve his game is Parkinson. Um, two catches for -6 yards, one of which resulted in him fumbling the ball. But luckily, having a quarterback like Matthew Stafford back there, realizing the ball's on the ground, he's able to recover your mistake. But he needs to tweak some things as well for him, keeping the ball secure and actually catching the ball for positive yardage. But other than that, I mean, the Rams played a very sound game. The Texans, as I knew was going to happen this week, they always have their rough games at the beginning of the year. They're going to have their rough game. They're going to go and tweak some things. They're going to say, okay, we got very lax, especially in the off season. We need to turn things around. This is probably where they sit, look at film, and say, okay, this is where we need to change things around. This is how we're going to improve for next week.
Yeah, they do just enough. And again, there's a reason that I said it's this one is going to come down to just whoever gets lucky at the end between the Cardinals and the Rams. Whoever wins that game, the last game of the season, I still think wins this division. So we'll find out.
I know
All
you're
right.
saving the Bills and the Ravens for last. We'll go into the Packers and Lions next.
Yeah. All right. Packers 27-13. Let me just say this. First of all, Green Bay looks scary. They look scary. That defense looks insane. And for you Cowpuke fans who are watching this, there's a reason y'all should be crying right now because Micah Parsons only played 29 snaps and already looks like a potential defensive MVP. Like, just incredible start for this defense, incredible start for this Packers team, and unfortunately, not a surprise. Jared Goff, very nice game, 31 of 39, 225, one touchdown, did throw the one pick, did take 4 sacks. I think that was the story of this game was Detroit not being able to protect him well. The running game completely missing for Detroit. Hard to have a running game when you're playing from behind the whole second half. The inability to get the ball down the field, I think, came down a lot of times to just a limited amount of time in the pocket for Jared. Um, some decent receiving numbers, but mostly because they were playing from behind so much. But for on the other side of the ball, Jordan Love, very nice game, 188 on 16 of 22, the 2 touchdowns. One of the two to one touchdown for Josh Jacobs as well. But Jaden Reed and Tucker Kraft both finding the end zone. The ball got spread around really, really well. Romeo Doubs with 68 yards receiving, like just a complete performance. If there's one team that I think could walk out of week 1 and say, not a lot to work on, Green Bay, I think, played the most complete game of any team out there. So Green Bay now 1-0, Detroit 0-1. There's a reason I said Detroit will not repeat and will not have the same year as last year. You lose both of your coordinators, and this is what happens.
Yeah, 100% agree. There was a video I was watching earlier today about the sideline for the Lions that entire game, where their head coach Dan Quinn, right? So
Yep.
Dan Quinn's on the sidelines,
Oh,
third down. They
Dan
decide,
Campbell, sorry.
or sorry, Dan Campbell. My apologies. Dan Campbell keeps telling the guys to run the ball, and on fourth down, the punter comes up to him and says, "Hey, I won't let you down." He says, "Who the hell are you?" But I
Yep.
agree. I agree. I mean, the Packers, they have really nothing to adjust really at all. The only thing I really think I will have a knock on them for is keeping Parsons available. You just trade for him, got him that big old contract. Now it's just working on keeping him on the field, keeping him healthy. I know at the very beginning, after the trade ultimately happened, he let them know about his health concerns. But definitely helping him get past those concerns and helping him stay on the field is something that they need to focus most importantly on. Because if he can stay healthy all year and get more than 27 snaps, this this team is going to be scary good. And this very well could be the team that I go and change my prediction for and say, hey, this is actually going to be the team you're going to see representing the NFC in the Super Bowl this year. Detroit just underperformed. Just nothing really to say about them. I mean, Jared Goff played serviceable as can be, but they couldn't get anything done on the ground. David Montgomery, I mean, 11 carries for 25 yards is your running back. You got the most amount of yards in that game. Sam Laporta played fairly serviceable with his 79 yards throughout the entire game. But just really defense. I mean, again, losing your offensive and defensive coordinator this year is not going to help them out overall. They're definitely going to go back to the drawing boards and say, hey, let's tweak our game together. Look at both the offense and defensive side of the ball. Look at where we need to work on the most more than anything, and adjust the game plan a little bit around those players that play very well for us. If they can do that, again, you could still have an argument about Detroit at least making it as a wild card team.
Yep, I agree. All right, one to go.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. So, first of all, when we talk about overreactions, there are games we are going to overreact to. There are games that we're not going to overreact to. But the biggest overreaction was a meme I saw that showed the Bills on 4th and 2 late in the fourth quarter, down 40-25, and somebody said, "Is this worse than 28-3?" No, no, it's not. But Buffalo Bills at home with a comeback for the ages end up winning 41-40 against the Baltimore Ravens after the Ravens were up 40-25 late in the fourth quarter. Holy crap. Josh Allen, MVP of the league for a reason. What a performance. 33 of 46, 394, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Didn't turn the ball over, which, wow. On the running side of the game for them, pretty pedestrian. 13 carries for James Cook. He did have a touchdown, 44 yards. Josh Allen, 14 carries in this game, 2 touchdowns, 30 yards. Nothing crazy there. But the breakout star for me, Keon Coleman, 8 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown. I'm pretty sure. Let me just go double check, but I'm pretty sure. Where is he? Fantasy? No, no, no. I did say Josh Allen as the fantasy hit, but I did mention Keon Coleman as a guy that had a chance to make a real impression. He outperformed Khalil Shakir. I think Keon Coleman could be a star for them. On the other side of the ball, Baltimore, Zay Flowers. Wow. 7 catches, 143 yards a touch. DeAndre Hopkins gets a touchdown, but only 2 catches. Derrick Henry, 169, 2 touchdowns, but a critical fumble that sets up the win for Buffalo. What are they doing? Punt the ball. Make him go. Make him go 50 yards. Don't let him. I don't get it. I don't get it. If it were a yard, you need a yard, and you want to go for it on fourth down to seal the game. Go for it. You got Derrick Henry. Fine. 2 yards. Just punt the ball. Let your defense get it right. Punt the ball. They didn't. They lost. This one, Lamar Jackson might not come back from. I just this might be the one loss that cost them the next 2 games as well. That's my take.
Absolutely agree. And that's the one thing I always wanted to do, especially knowing that this game was up and coming. One thing in particular, and all y'all watch me right here. The Bills want to make me shout, "Fuck the Ravens." No, but seriously though, on a serious note, I agree. I mean, Derrick Henry's fumble at the very end of the game, um, just sold the game for him. Honestly, Derrick Henry doesn't fumble on that play. We're talking about a completely different game. We're
Yep.
talking about Buffalo Bills going in, trying to adjust things for the following week. But this one in particular, it's going to eat at Lamar Jackson's head for weeks and weeks to come. He's gonna
Yep.
go. He's gonna go and harp on the fact that he didn't do anything wrong. It was everybody else around him. It's gonna alienate a whole bunch of his teammates, especially the guy who is running the football for him, and Derrick Henry. It's going to alienate his team, and I live for it. But I agree. I mean, Josh Allen MVP for a reason last year, and very well could make an argument for MVP this year. But at the same time, it all comes down to being able to be consistent based upon those numbers. If he can still be consistent based upon the numbers he had this week, we could be talking about the Bills as well, being that representative next year, this upcoming year for the Super Bowl. But they'll have to go through the Bengals this year.
So we got one game to go this week. That's going to be the Vikings and the Bears. Give me your prediction for tonight.
Oh my God, I think it's gonna be the Vikings, especially with the two guys they have on their cheer squad not being allowed to go into the Bears stadium. It's so gonna be the Vikings.
Oh dear
I'm
God.
sorry. If you have to be inside of a player's head so much that the opposing team tells the other team, "Hey, don't bring these two guys in. It's going to distract Caleb Williams too much." Of course, I think that's more of a meme more than anything. But
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, I mean, they did a lot in the offseason to improve their team. However, I don't think they've improved enough to move past the Vikings. In the same argument, the Vikings very well could go out and have the stinker of a game. A lot of people are predicting it's going to happen because of the young and now going into his quote unquote rookie year in JJ McCarthy. But overall, I do believe it will be the Vikings coming out with a victory this week. I want to be nice to the Bears as best as I can. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be decided by at least 3 points.
Yep. I've got the Vikings winning. I said by 4 when I talked to Mike earlier. I don't think anyone's going to put up monster numbers this game. I do see Aaron Jones putting one in the end zone, and I do see T.J. Hawkinson putting one in the end zone. But look for something like a 24-20 or a 21-17 type game. Don't see any real high scoring. I do see the Vikings pulling out a win. So, alrighty, that's all I've got. And I've got to get going. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Daryl, you'll have to try to win your prizes next time.
All
So
right, I will catch you later, and we'll talk later about timing for next week. So, have a good rest of
sounds
your day,
good.
Dad. I'll sign everybody off here.
Take care.
I'll bring us to the end. I appreciate everybody who came out and watched. And for those of you who are watching over on YouTube, I appreciate every single one of you watching as well. Tune in next week. Again, we'll be up in the air as far as timing for the show, day of the show. Monday worked out pretty well. Knowing him working on Sundays, Mondays may become a very consistent day for our shows, but I appreciate everybody for coming and watching out, both on YouTube and here on Twitch. But definitely tune in next week, and can't wait to see you guys on the next show, dude.